Welcome back to the Coding Fanatic YouTube channel. I'm your host Richard, and here at Coding Fanatic, I'm all about helping new Android developers grow quickly, whether it comes down to learning new skills, finding the best ways to work with others, and committing to your projects. These are the areas that I focused on to grow as an Android developer, and now I'm taking my lessons and passing them on to you. Now, if that sounds like something you're interested in, then join the mailing list at codingfanatic.com. You'll be the first to know when I have new content out each week, and you get extra content that I don't put out on YouTube and on social media. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notifications, and you will be notified when I upload new videos each week. And follow me on social media too. I got all those links on my page and in the description below. If you are new to the channel, I have spent the last couple months learning the basics of Kotlin, and I am pleased to say that I just finished the intro course on the Kotlin website for learning the basic syntax. So, good for me. The program consisted of doing some exercises and learning how to use just doing small things to figure out how to use Kotlin to do things in terminal-based programs. So now that that's done, I thought I would share my progress and let you guys know what my next moves are from here. Along the way, I learned how to use variables and set up loops. They're called repeat. You use repeat statements in Kotlin. It repeats code like a loop. It's the same thing. The thing that took me aback was I expected there to be more about different data types and things like that, but the way Kotlin is set up, it simplifies this process, so you don't have to know as many of you really don't have to know that many data types at all. All you need is the val keyword to set up variables, so that saves you a lot of time. There are some instances where it comes up, like setting function headers and adding in the parameters that tell you like what type of data a function will accept and how to use it, but all those things are pretty straightforward. If you have any programming experience at all, then it should not take you that long to figure these things out. And if you don't have any, then the Kotlin makes it very easy. So that part I'm not worried about. There are some things that were missing from this intro course that I expected to be there, like relational operators like and or and things like that, equals, all those things that you use to set up like things like if statements, if you're familiar with Java or even C++. Let's say you wanted to write something that says, ask the user for their age. If they are older than 30, then say, hey, you're past 30, and else output good for you, or something like that. This is where if statements come in. So it creates like decision trees. If you ever play like an RPG like Pokemon or something like that, this is the basic logic that goes behind that. But I expected that to be there in the basic syntax part, but it wasn't. I guess this wasn't considered basic enough for Kotlin. So, but again, I already have experience with these things, so I can look them up later if need be. So I'm not worried about that. I guess the only thing left for me to do now is figure out how to start building apps with Kotlin. Now, the last exercise of the basic syntax section involved building a birthday cake using ASCII art. ASCII art is where, if you've ever seen those images online where people have like a face built with commas and dashes and underscores and things like that, this is what that is pretty much. The final exercise involved using repeat statements and functions in order to build a birthday cake using someone's age and some set number of layers. The main function of the project included a couple variables. The first was one for age and the other for the layers for the cake. This is what would drive the remaining parts of the project. From there were function calls to a few functions that were used to build the cake, pretty much. So there are 3 sections of the cake. The first was the candles, of course, like any cake. The next was the top of the cake, and the last part was the bottom of the cake. If you've ever seen a cake, a birthday cake, this should be no surprise to you. So the cake candles method, that one accepted the age of the person, and it printed out a number of candles equal to the person's age using commas for the flames, and then the vertical line symbol that you see above your enter key on the right side of your keyboard. It used those two to make the candles for the cake. Now I thought this was pretty cool because you're making a cake with ASCII art. Like that's something that never occurred to me. I've done problems like this in the past in old programming classes back in college and stuff, but they never were this creative. So I thought it was pretty cool. But the main point I wanted to get to, the function for printing the cake candles, it indents a line, or it creates a space before the first candle and then after the last candle. And the reason for this is because of the size of the symbols that will appear for this exercise. If you look at the candles, because it's the comma and then the straight vertical line, they're very skinny, very slim. So the remaining parts of the cake, the other symbols that are used for the top and bottom, are a little wider. And because of this, if you were to just print the candles and then put the top underneath it, then it wouldn't look very clean. You'll see what I mean as I go through screenshots and things like that. The print cake top method printed the top part of the cake, and it used equal signs. Now, like I said before, the equal signs are a little wider than the vertical symbol is. So because of that, that's where the spaces come in from the print cake top function. So the top part of the cake is a series of equal signs equal to the age of the person. So that method accepts, or that function accepts a parameter of the person's age, and then it prints that many equal signs. So again, if you look at the image, you can see now it looks like the top of a cake because you have that top layer and then the little candles that go across it. And thanks to the indentation, it really does look like candles on a cake. I thought it was pretty cool. It seems very simple, but I love it. I think this is great. It's a great way I'm just gonna cut away for a second just to point out, like, when you're learning a new language, or when you're learning things in software development, this is the same approach that I use. Is any new thing that I learn, I create a very simple and small example first, and then I apply it to the project I'm working on. You don't have to go above and beyond to learn something. Like, you can do something small first and then apply it on a larger level. In fact, that was what I did in when I was in high school. My geometry teacher, Mr. Cohen, that was what he did. He gave us a study guide, and it was like, for our final, it was like 10 questions. And he said, everything on your exam is right in front of you. If you can do these 10 questions, then you should have no problem on the exam. And yeah, it's the same thing here. For the last section of our cake, we have the bottom part of the cake. And to print that, the print cake bottom method takes the age and layers. Now, the age is, for each layer, is consisted of a series of @ symbols. So what my program did was it used nested repeat statements. This is if you use nested loops in other programming languages, you know what I'm talking about. But what I did was I put one repeat statement inside of another. So the outer repeat statement would be used to print each individual layer. The inner repeat statement would print the @ symbols, however many, whatever the person's age was. So similar to the candles and the top, the cake top, each layer of the cake also printed the same number of symbols equal to the person's age. So let's say you had 5 layers and the person was 24. Then each layer the first layer would come up, and then you print 24 @ symbols, and the second 24, and the third, and so on and so forth, until you have your 5 layers with the 24 @ symbols for each part. And when you're done, you have a birthday cake, and it really legit looks like a cake. You can see that the @ symbols look like the little, when they take that, I don't know what it's called, I'm not a pastry chef, but when they take that's the thing that puts the thing on the cake. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's the thing that squirts the baster thing or whatever. Anyway, it looks like that. It really does. And it's so simple. It's at symbols, vertical lines, and equal signs and commas. But it actually makes a real cake. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know. There's something about it that just blows me away. Very, very simple example. Very straight to the point, and it really cemented everything I learned thus far about function headers, functions, function headers, and repeat statements, and even now nested repeat statements. Again, if you have any experience with software development already in other languages, then you already know how to do nested loops. You know how this goes. But the way that they're able to teach this concept, like, man, good for them. So, shout out to the people at Kotlin. This was really cool. I like this. It was nice. All in all, I would recommend this course for anyone who's looking to learn Kotlin. It's very short, quick, easy, and the best part is it's free $99. It does not take long at all. You can sit down and probably do it in a whole day. But, yeah, it's great. I was looking for something just to get my feet wet, just so I could get an idea of how Kotlin is used, and I definitely got a good grasp of sort of the philosophy behind this language and how to implement it when I'm building apps and stuff like that. It's as simple as that. I still believe that you definitely need like hands-on experience to learn something. Like you should actually, if you want to learn a language for programming, like actually sit down and use it to build something. But this gave me, I just wanted to take a look at, I just wanted to figure out how this language is used, and this gave me that. From here on out, I'm gonna have to look for something to figure out how to actually use it to build an app from the ground up. But I already have experience doing this with Java, and Android Studio makes creating new projects very simple. So I'm not worried or anything like that. It's just gotta find a new tutorial and then take it on to the next page of my journey. So all that being said, thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, it's your host Richard. If you liked this video, then hit like, comment, tell me what you liked. If you didn't like it, then tell me what you didn't like. And yeah, if you want to see more content like this, like I said, just hit subscribe and turn on notifications to see when I put out new videos each week. And I'll also head over to the Coding Fanatic website and join the mailing list, and you'll be the first to know when I put out new content. You'll be on the mailing list, so you'll get extra words each week that I don't put out on social media like that. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I feel good. I feel really, really good about this. So yeah, expect to see more content like this around my time with Kotlin. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything, don't hesitate to hit me up. You can contact me on my social media links. You can comment underneath this. I'm here to help you guys, whether you're new, old, whatever. If you have any questions, just let me know. So all that being said, yeah, I'm signing out, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace.